guys doing? Mandus here with Midwest Muscle Report. We are live at the 2016 North American Championships. The finals are over. It's been a long week. It's been an interesting week, and we have a chance to sit down and talk to one of the few female judges, Becky Clawson. We're going to talk about the weekend. We're going to talk about the show. We're going to talk about women's presence and presentation on stage. So let's get started right away, Becky. What did you think about the show this weekend?
Tough competition. We were all remarking at the judges' table how in past years, sometimes you'll see, a few outliers, some people that maybe aren't ready for the national stage, aren't quite in shape or developed enough, and really top to bottom, even the last call-outs in these groups were really tough. And they were definitely top caliber athletes. They were first call-outs at any local show for sure.
Yeah.
So the level's just getting higher and higher, the level of athletes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was really surprised at some of the second and third call-outs in the 35 plus, 40 plus, and 45 plus in some of the classes. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we're still quality. Now, this doesn't take anything away from masters athletes, but generally speaking, most people have a thought process of it's going to be a little bit easier. We didn't see any of that this weekend.
No. In fact, we noticed that a lot of the people who competed in the masters categories didn't cross over to the open, which was surprising because they would have done really well.
Right.
That's the level of athlete that's here.
This show has really turned into some kind of an extravaganza. This is the third year in a row, I believe, that they broke records. The format runs very well. There's a lot of differences, though, we've noticed with judging panels when the men are on and the women are on. Is that something you guys do on purpose? Is that something you try and even out?
I think they try to keep everything as consistent as possible. I think there's even more effort put towards keeping the divisions consistent. So like if bikini's up there, they want consistent judging for all of bikini. Obviously, when we have so many different panels, so many different judges in and out, there's going to be variations, and that's the idea of having a different judging panel, so you can get different opinions. But I think they try to keep the head judging in line and looking for the same thing very specifically per division.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, Becky, we do notice that there are not nearly as many female judges as there are male, which makes sense. This is for a long time been a predominantly male sport. But there are more female athletes by far than there are male athletes. And we're starting to see a larger infusion of female judges. You yourself were a competitor for years.
Yep.
Very successful competitor for years. And now you've made that transition to the table. How do you think that impacts what you do, what you're looking at, and also how does it impact the feedback you're able to turn around and give to the athletes, being that you were an athlete not all that long ago?
Right. I think it impacts me as a judge. I think I'm very fair. I try to be very, very fair and have no bias whatsoever, even though I know a lot of the athletes, just from being an athlete myself.
Right.
A lot of, sometimes people train in my gym or whatever, but I am fair to a fault because that's how I want to be treated as an athlete myself. I want to be judged fairly. So that's, I think, the biggest influence on my judging. Now, when I critique, I feel like because I know all the details and all the work that goes into preparing yourself for the stage, especially for the females, I can critique hair, makeup, suit, tan, posing, and also just body mechanics, because I know how to do the poses myself. I know how your body feels in that pose, or maybe a little suggestion to get them to tweak it and stand just right. From having done it myself and having the experience, I think that really helps.
Okay.
It helps me relate to them.
Do you find that posing and tan and hair and makeup and stage presence and all those things that are variables, not just training in the gym, do you think they're better nowadays, or are people more sloppy nowadays?
Oh, it's definitely leveled up. Everyone's a lot better at it.
Okay.
We were just joking that when I started, when I was an amateur, oh my goodness, I did my own hair, my own makeup, my own tan, and looked a little crazy out there. I did not look as good as these ladies do now, and I think it just speaks to the level of competition. Everything is getting tougher, and really, in a class of 40, maybe 50 girls, you have to stand out from the get-go.
Right.
When you step on stage, you have to catch the judges' attention and make them keep looking at you.
Correct.
Because we're judging everyone. We're trying to figure out our call-outs. If you don't hold our attention, we're looking at other girls on the stage to try to finish putting people in their places. So that has to be immediate, that you catch someone's attention, and it's all in the details.
Okay. If you were talking to an athlete that was coming to do a national show for the first time, or some national athletes that maybe haven't quite nailed it on the head, not just physique-wise, but Becky, talking about being prepared, what they should be looking at and thinking about coming to the show. Should they be hiring somebody they don't know, or somebody only hire somebody they know to do their hair, tan, and makeup? Because again, like you're saying, there's such a high level of competition now. The difference between first and third is the difference of how your hair was done.
It is.
Or how your makeup was done.
It is. It's that minor of a difference.
So what would be your best piece of advice to those girls that are getting ready to come out and do big shows like this, spending all their hard-earned time, money, blood, sweat, tears, coming out here and maybe dropping the ball because they had the wrong shoes?
Right.
Or the wrong suit?
Right.
What would your advice be to them?
You have to go with the best. Go with the people that the best use, the top athletes. Find out who are they using for their hair and makeup. Who are the big suit designers? Who is on the Olympia stage? Because really, that's where every amateur is trying to get.
Right.
Is to a pro stage, maybe to the Olympia stage. Who is dressing those athletes and who is tanning those athletes? Who does their makeup? That's a good place to start.
Okay.
Look for references, and especially for makeup, look at photos. Ask for stage photos, because someone can do great makeup for just every day. It may not translate to the stage, and that's a huge difference.
Okay. Okay. There you go, ladies. You have it there. Because we do see time and time again that, again, the difference between first and third literally might be the suit color that you picked did not completely flatter your physique. So with all the time and effort that you guys put into what you do, be sure that you address all the details and not just hams and glutes, so to speak. Becky, if I was a female athlete getting ready to come out and do a big show, and maybe I didn't know somebody close to me, or the references I had, I didn't know if they really panned out, is there a way people can get a hold of you? Is there a way they can reach out to you for critique or advice? And what would that be?
I'm on Facebook, Becky Clawson. I'm also on Instagram, FitProBecky, and then you can email me if you want to. It's bclawson42@aol.com. I'm always happy to provide feedback or any guidance that I can.
Always. Well, we see you all over the place, Becky, and you're always smiling, you're always giving a compliment to somebody, you're always cheering somebody on. So, ladies, if you are out there looking for some good sound advice from someone who is sitting at the judges' table and someone who was an athlete for a long time, will clearly understand where you're coming from, you have the contact information. Becky, glad you got to catch up with us.
Yes, and so nice to talk to you.
Absolutely, and we will talk to you again soon.
Absolutely.
Until next time, Mandus from Midwest Muscle Report, we're out.